What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade comes out with that instant basketball nozzle on. Cedric Coward, he can finish going right to the basket if you give him a chance, if you give him a lane, if you give him an opportunity, if his teammates find him. Not only that, he's going to play hard. He's going to be in the right areas. He's giving 1.3 offensive rebound. So that's another way for him to finish in the paint. He also is a decent cutter. If you leave him open or you ain't paying attention to him, he's going to try to make a drive or a way to attack the basket. And if he does miss, he has a chance to get it because he is lanky and long and has good athleticism and understanding where to be at on the court. Not only that, he knows when to attack the basket and time it when it comes to offensive rebounds too, and that's why he's averaging 1.3. He's also an unselfish player, but he can go right through the middle of the defense if you take away the other angles and the other players. He's not afraid to attack that way either, even if it's in transition. Not only that, he does a good job of filling the gaps and angles himself. So you can always throw it to him because they got to pick who they want to stop. Since he knows what to do in transition, it allows him to get good looks. He's also a decent mid-range shooter. You're going to leave him open. You're going to give him space because you don't want to give him a lane to the basket. So he knows when to stop. He knows when to pull up, even if it's off the dribble, even if it's coming off a screen, or even if it's coming off a handoff. And that's something that you kind of have on a perimeter, and he does. He can shoot threes. We all know that. He didn't shoot above average from three, but he's an average three-point shooter, which is something that you prefer to have or better. And he can do it, doing it himself mostly. He wants to do it catch and shoot, but those are high percentage shots. So if you're a coach or you're a teammate, those are the looks you prefer him to have because he has a good chance of making them. And he has more confidence in those shots. So it goes hand in hand, and one hand washes another for that reason. But if he comes off a screen, he likes to shoot at the top of the key. And those are shots that a lot of players in this generation likes a lot. But not only that, he can't relocate and get open from the corner and just be ready to shoot those too. That's the shot that he looks forward to taking. He knows defenses are going to allow him to take it because it is a tough shot still. But that's a shot that he's ready for, and he looks for himself each and every night. And he has made a real good name for himself for being able to hit it and make it. But not only that, if you don't pick him up early, he will shoot it early in the shot clock. The coaches give him the green light on that. He is also an unselfish player in transition. If he sees you, he's already looking to find you. He's already looking to make the right pass. He also is just a good passer in the half court. He just sees the play. He runs it. If the play is a little broken, he will try to find you before he even attempts to take a shot, showing you how much of a good support player he is. He can find shooters just by reading the floor, with seeing the floor for what it is and having good court awareness. And then it's just about, if I got to attack or I got to break down the defense, it's just about finding the open guy. Simple basketball there. And then, of course, you just want him to just make the right decisions in general. And if that happens, you're happy with whatever he chooses to do. And then, of course, he's going to try to get a steal or a block. He's long, lanky, and that can lead for transition opportunities for him or his teammates too. Ended up having a good rookie campaign. He started for a little bit, came off the bench for a little bit. He showed that he can be a two-way player. He showed that he can be a winning player, with his defense, with his unselfishness, with the ability for him to play off the ball. Obviously, you would like to see him be more aggressive sometimes with the ball in his hands, or just get a little bit more opportunities. They tried that throughout the season, but he only took 10 shots a game. He did shoot a good percentage, which was 47%. A lot of that has to do with shot selection. A lot of that has to do with him being unselfish because he's not going to take a shot that makes sense unless it's open. And if it's open, he's willing to take it. Or if you give him enough space to where he's confident in it, he will pull it up. Other than that, he will get rid of the ball and just relocate within the flow of the offense. But, his three-point shooting was respectable. Obviously, you just want him to improve on that and be more consistent. He only took 4.4 threes a game. That's a good amount for him. Not only that, he did shoot 84% from the free throw line. You always want to see a player, especially on the perimeter, do that. He didn't attempt a whole lot of them, but he took a good amount and did make them at a decent percentage. And then you had to like the fact that he was an above average rebounder. They had a lot of their bigs missing. but somebody still has to get him. Somebody still has to do him. And he was able to get it done. 5.9 rebounds is nothing to sneeze at. And then it's all about, can you find the guy at the right time? Do you understand what you should be doing on that possession that can happen on the offensive end? And then he gave you 2.8 assists. He knew when to pass. He knew when to take a shot. He knew what shots was bad. He knew what shots was good. So I always say he had good court awareness. He had good basketball IQ for a rookie. He is an older rookie, so some of that does come with experience. Some of that does come with coaching, and some of that does come with the fact that you just prefer to defer. And that's something that if he wants to be a star player, he's going to have to build his confidence up in his game. But if he's going to be a support player like he has been throughout this season and throughout his career, really, he has a lot of that stuff figured out already. And that's why he did start 47 games for the Grizzlies, because he does a lot of things right on both ends of the court. And he gave you double figures in points. 13 points per game. He only gave you 1.7 turnovers, which is low, meaning that he only wanted to have the ball in his hand if it was a purpose. And since that's really good to know that, and really good to know that he's going to make the right play, regardless if it's him scoring or assisting or just finding somebody that can get to the other guy and possibly the hockey assist, that's good team offense. That's just good understanding of the game of basketball as a team at a team level, which is the NBA, which is the highest level. So he passed all those tests. He showed all those things, and you just want him to stay healthy. You want him to continue to develop. You want him to continue to show that he can improve his shots, and you want him to take a little bit more because he's capable of being a decent scorer. 13 points a game for your first year in the NBA, and you did it basically efficiently. That's a green flag. That's something that you really want to see, and that's something you should be happy about. And nobody really surprised. I mean, he is one of those players that was a lottery pick. So people knew that he can do some of these things, and people knew that with the right team and the right talent around him, he can be a really, really good player. If you have stars like they had in Memphis with Ja Morant and the Jaren Jacksons, he's good to be able to play off them and help the team, flow real well. And that's what he was out there doing, and that's how he really earned his stripes in the league. Obviously, it changed as the season went on, but it just shows you if you get the right guys around him, he can fit in perfectly and be a jack of all trades. He can be a Swiss Army knife for you, especially as he continues to develop and continues to understand what he should and shouldn't be doing, and also build the confidence up as a playmaker and scorer. I think he has more potential to be more and do more. And I think that that's something that I would love to see. I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star. But this guy can average 17. He can average 18. He can be a 20-point scorer if he puts his head into it and he gets the chances and the opportunity, and he irons out that mid-range and irons out that three-point shooting, and just be a little bit more aggressive attacking the rim. Obviously, that can lead to free throws. That can lead to decent shots. He shows that he can do it. He wants to do it. But sometimes it seems like he'd rather just give up the ball. So those are things he's going to have to fix mentally if he wants to take another leap next season, going into his sophomore year. And if he does, I can see those incremental improvements being valuable to the team, not just himself, because the more you can do and the more you can help the team, the more they can help you. And y'all supposed to be playing off of each other anyway. He showed that he can do that. Obviously, we don't know what they're going to do in the draft. We don't know what he's going to do throughout his career. But he has shown that he's a legitimate starter no matter where you will put him. It's just him just understanding what he wants to do and what he wants to continue to do at a high level. Because if you're just going to be this type of player, you still can be a starter. But you can also do more, and that's nothing wrong with that. And some teams will take a gamble on you because they see you can do more. They might ask you to do more. They might see potential in you, and you just want somebody to unlock it or have it, invested in. And I feel like the Grizzlies, when they picked him, they said, okay, we're getting a quality young player that can fit what we're trying to do. And they played him. They gave him a lot of opportunities and a lot of chances, and he shined. And he really showed you that he was one of the best rookies this year. But I do want to see more from him. I do want to see him more unlocked and see if he can be that guy. Will he be a Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby type of guy? If that's the case, you're not mad about it. You're not angry about it. You're happy with that because those are guys are needed. Those guys are wanted. And those guys do make a big difference on your team. And we have seen those guys have success, being those type of players. And he's one of those players of that ilk coming into the league. And it's just good to see him understand that, embrace it, but you still can, support and do a little bit more for your team. And hopefully he does in the future wherever he plays at, because this guy is a quality player. And I just want to see him become a great player, not just a good one. And we'll see if he does in his NBA career. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share the notification bell to get the analysis when it first come out. Also, y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I hopefully see y'all later today with more analysis. And I do got more breakdowns coming out for the rookies. And that should give y'all something fun and something interesting to watch. And if you're new to the channel, you can see some of my old videos, some of the videos I make on a daily, and some videos like this that show you how to do various things on the channel. And I give y'all a lot of stuff to see. So if you love that type of stuff, subscribe. Like I said before. Other than that, peace.